today's video, I'm gonna show you how I'm creating my summer-proof, sweat-proof makeup. I've already moisturized my skin, my eyes and my lips. Now I'm gonna move on to my primer. I'm using the Laneige oil primer. You can skip this step if you're dry skin. It's a very essential step for you to add oils to your makeup routine. If you're oily skin, then you can very well skip this step. Now I'm gonna let it sit on my skin for a while and then move on to my blurring primer from Mercier to fill in the pores and make my skin really smooth. It's a really nice primer, and also it has the tag called Clean brand from Sephora, so it is, it has less chemicals comparatively. And also now I'm gonna color correct my pigmented areas on my face, like my under eye, around my nose and around my mouth. And I'm gonna use a brush to blend it so that the product gives me that coverage, whereas while I use my sponge, it's gonna take off the excess product. That way I don't get enough coverage that I'm supposed to get from it. So I use a brush to blend it. Now that my orange corrector is done, I'm gonna move on to neutralizing the orange corrector. I'm gonna use a concealer which is very close to my skin tone to neutralize the orange corrector which I've applied here. This step is really important because when you skip this step, your foundation tends to look orange or sometimes it might turn gray. So always make sure you conceal the orange corrector itself. Use a brush for this also, so that you get the coverage. Otherwise you're gonna mix up the products. And use a pressing motion when you apply your concealer. Now I'm using my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter in the shade Tan. It's an illuminating primer. I'm gonna set everything with a powder. I'm using my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. It's a loose powder. It's better to use a loose powder so that it is light on the skin and doesn't make it look cakey. So I'm gonna press it using a velour puff. Mainly concentrate on the areas where you tend to get oily, mostly the T-zones of the face and your eyelid area. I'm dusting off all the excess powder now off my face. Make sure you dust off all the powders because you're gonna use cream on top of it. I'm using my Huda Beauty Tantour in the shade medium to give a little bit of contour to the outer perimeters of my face. It's a very nice technique that you use cream contours under your foundation. It gives you the natural blended look. So for photographs or any kind of shoots or big events, try cream contouring under your foundation, so it will give you that very flawless finish. And I'm gonna apply my foundation on top of this using a pressing motions so that you don't move the cream contour which is under your foundation. Make sure you use pressing motions. Now that my foundation is blended really well, I'm moving on to my concealer. I'm using the latest technique of instant facelift concealing. Rather than applying a triangle concealer, I'm just applying it in the inner corners and in the outer corners in such a way where I've applied in this video. This way you use less product, and also it looks really natural. And also it instantly lifts your face. So it was a very nice technique that I really like in recent days. Now I'm gonna set with powder one more time to make my base is really in place and intact, so even if I sweat it's not gonna move. So it is basically a sweat proof makeup. Make sure you press gently and also concentrate on the areas where you tend to get really oily quickly. And also, you know, it's better to use a loose powder so that it's lighter on the skin, and also it gives you that, you know, poreless kind of a finish. Now that I've set my face with the powder, I'm moving on to my eyes. I'm using an orange brick kind of color for my transition and slowly building up the color. I'm just doing a basic pink eyeshadow look. I'm gonna use a dark pink for my outer V and blending it really well. While I'm doing my eyes, I thought my face was getting dry, so I quickly dusted off all the powder which I applied previously, because while I was doing this in AC, so air conditioned, so my face was really getting tight. But it is a very good technique to, you know, do for summertime sweat, you know, where places you're gonna sweat. This is an amazing technique. And in the centers, I'm gonna use a glittery pink shade from the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. Like, it's the Amrezy palette, I guess. I'm using the pink, and it also suited really well to my, matched really well to my dress I was wearing. So this was a very easy, quick halo look which I created. It was super easy to create. And now I'm gonna use a little bit of my bronzer to bronze up my face. Since we've used a lot of powder, I'm using my powder contour. Like, it's not contour, it's bronzing up. I'm using on the sides of my nose as well. I'm using powder highlighter for the high points of my face as well. I'm using it for my cheek area, like a cheekbone, and on the bridge of my nose. I won't use it for the whole nose. I'm gonna use it only on the bridge exactly and on the tip, so that it looks a little bit more natural. Also under my brow area for my brow bone highlighting. Clearly seen that I went overboard with my highlighter, but then it's fine when you're gonna use it for night times, but for daytimes it isn't recommendable. Using it on my cupid's bow as well. I've quickly done my brows. I have a separate video on how I fill in my brows. Please do check it out. I'll link it in the description box below. I'm gently curling my lashes using my lash curler before I apply my mascara, and I'm coating my lashes with my ever favorite Too Faced Born This Way mascara. It really, you know, builds up, you know, makes your lashes look really thick. Anyways, I'll be applying falsies after this, so I'm coating extra and then setting my whole face using MAC Fix Plus so that it looks less powdery. You know, MAC Fix Plus actually melts everything into the skin and it looks really natural and flawless. You won't know where you blended everything in. That's one of the best thing you should have in your makeup kit. And then I'm lining my lips using my Kiko Milano lip liner. Now I'm gonna apply my lipstick. I'm gonna use the shade called Mi Kiss from Charlotte Tilbury. It looked a little bit, you know, matching to my outfit, and also it went well along with the look, the eye look and everything. So I used that for my lipstick today. Hope you'll enjoy this video. Meet you in another one. Bye guys.